I'm thinking of my nuts, like a hazelnut or just like it's not your standard.
I'm thinking of mine too.
Macadamia nut. Welcome to the Bourbon Van's 2023 Advent Whiskey Tournament, presented by Bull Run Distillery and their extensive award-winning line of craft spirits.
Last day of round one, last day of head-to-head matchups times 2, last day of us sleeping poorly, I hope. Let's get on to it. 2 brand new whiskeys. We don't know anything about them. We don't even know who gave them to us. All we know is that Peach Coke put these against each other, and he's done a great job of these matchups so far. What do we got here? What's in front of us?
In the super good glass, we have 21, and in the Julie Port glass, 24.
Great.
We're getting there.
Those are the only identifiers we have for these whiskeys. Let's get to the nose.
Yep. Oh, this has a little nuttiness to it.
Sure does.
Oakiness.
It smells like a Jim Beam product.
Sure does. So does this one.
Not even giving any tasting notes, just saying it smells like Jim Beam.
As does this one. It is pretty nutty as well. I feel like this is going to be a nutty matchup.
It's a little nutty, but there's grassiness. There's herbal earthiness. There's more notes on the second glass, I think. Brown sugary? Ooh.
He likes it.
Every time I return to glass 2, I'm finding more in it. There's some nice, like, dry wood. I don't know. It smells good to me.
You're good at doing the nosing. I'm just ready to get on to the cheersing.
I think we have good days and bad. Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh, I like this.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
There's some pink bubble gum to this.
You keep talking about that bubblegum. I'm not getting any bubblegum.
It's crazy.
No.
I feel like I'm just like chewing Hubba Bubba.
It's
just
cherry.
for that first 2 seconds, though, because then Hubba Bubba just disappears.
I don't know why you got to break bad on your bubblegum company. Cherry, beautiful spice here. Ooh. It's like a cherry pie with like the pie crust over the top.
Oh, nice.
Oh man.
I got nuts on the I'm going nuts, but I got some peanuts on the finish. Mm-hmm. Pretty warm. My first initial guess would be this is in the teens or low 20s, just out of that first sip.
Yeah.
It's pretty warm.
Yeah, on the nose I was thinking, oh, maybe a little bit over 100, but here I am thinking like 120-ish. Yeah. It's up there.
I really like it.
I do too. The nose has really come alive on this glass.
Yeah.
I'm excited about what's inside. The nose is very appealing, draws me in.
It kind of feels like when you walk into, I think I said this last year, a nuttery, but a place that sells like amaretto nuts and like all the
toasted nuts.
Yeah, like all the flavored nuts. I'm gonna make that a thing. There is really nice. It's almost juice, like. I'm getting like more of like a strawberry, like a cherry strawberry berry juice.
Yeah, it's very
versus
bright.
A candy. Yeah.
It's way brighter than you would think on the nose. The nose, you think it's going to be really sort of dark and like brown sugar coated, like you said, toasted nuts of some type. There's definitely a nuttiness here, but it's really a lot more like a pie-like experience than just some dry nuts in a bag.
Yeah, it doesn't feel artificial to me. The flavors feel really fresh. I like it. I like glass number 1.
I agree. Warm. Vanilla showing up, that good barrel char showing up. Mm-hmm. There's a lot to like there. Let's cleanse the palate. Let's move on to glass number 2. All right, glass number 2 looking a little darker to me than glass number 1. Could just be that I drank half of glass number 1 already.
I already forgot what I said on glass number 2, but there's kind of like a crackery crust to this one as well.
I stand by that. It's a little musty and a little grassy.
I'm thinking of my nuts, like a hazelnut or just like it's not your standard.
I'm thinking of mine too.
Macadamia nut. It's not a macadamia nut, but I'm just best in showing right here.
It's tasty though. It's good. It's got a lot of flavor there. It's a little more cohesive, I think. It's a little bit harder to pick out the flavors, but what's there I like so far. This one's a little thinner than glass number 1, I think. Doesn't coat quite as well. It does coat, but not as well.
These are a little bit more drier, darker flavors that I'm picking up in glass number 2.
Yeah. There's a little bitterness showing up on the tail end. Mm-hmm. I don't dislike it. I think it's well balanced. I think that maybe that would indicate that it has a little more age than glass number 1. Maybe not.
I should be used to like the proof points of all this. Nothing should really faze me after 3 years, but every so often the heat just kind of gets on top of me. The heat is building in these. I think they're both fairly high proof, and so they're just kind of toppling one another.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little heartburn today.
A little bit. Maybe it's that day 8 heartburn.
Yeah, maybe it's the cumulative effect. Yeah.
Our heart is like very anxious for the one-a-days coming up. Oh, I was gonna drink another one, but do you want to go back and forth, or what should we do next?
I'm kind of just sitting here with it on my palate. The finish is lovely on glass number 2. There's a spice hanging around, baking spice, cinnamon roll type thing.
Yeah. We said it's thin, but I can really taste the flavors on the roof of my mouth. Like they're just kind of hanging out up there. Yeah. And, kind of don't forget about me, but I'm still here.
It's a lingering spice. Mm-hmm. And I don't dislike it. You're not going to forget that you're drinking a whiskey. This one does command your attention. Mm-hmm. And it's great. Really interesting matchup here, because I expected glass number 2 to have a lot of the same profile of glass number 1.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Totally different.
Let's do a little testing and see who's going to move forward. Oh, here comes the cat.
The cat is going to move forward.
Glass number 1 has a bit of a potpourri, a floral note to the nose now.
Yeah.
But very subtle. Enjoyable. Man, I love the vanilla in this one.
Oh,
I like the oak in this one.
The oak is on point on this one. That oak vanilla combo, as you just described it, is some real quintessential bourbon flavor. That's what I look for in a bourbon, and that's all in here.
There's it's the good stuff too, like the vanilla beans.
It's great.
I'm scraping that pod, getting that good stuff.
Scrape your bean pod, kid. That sounds terrible. Boy, there's chocolate showing up here on the nose on glass number 2 now. Mm-hmm. And that pairs really nicely with everything else we're finding in that glass.
I need to start eating dinner before we do these, because every so often I get like a waft of just like a yummy dinner. And I know I'm just projecting it because I'm probably getting hungry.
We're just conjuring this dinner. Conjuring
dinner. It's like, oh, maybe today is a taco night.
Every day should be taco night. Thought I had a decision twice already now.
Yep.
Yeah, but these are great.
I have a decision.
Doggone it. I'm going to cleanse my palate and do another pass at each one of these.
Perfect. Let's do it.
These taste like they could go a very long ways in this tournament.
I love how passionate you are today.
Day
8.
Do you not feel that way?
It's been a few days, and I don't remember what's all in there. Can you feel all the eyes of the internet on you right now? You're going to mess up someone's bracket so bad. Or not. I probably will. Actually, I most certainly will. I always feel like I'm the wild card out there. Of course, in the last couple of years, you've been more unpredictable than I have.
It's because my palate's constantly changing. I'm a guy who likes trends. I like whiskey trends.
Oh, sure you do.
That's the last thing that I like. I have a decision.
Okay, perfect.
I'm not really happy with it. 1, 2, 3. Did you use Mavis's paw? Good girl.
Good girl. You did such a good job.
Ultimately,
oh smokes! I didn't. I wasn't paying attention, and I'm surprised. From everything that has happened during this tasting, I'm very surprised that you went forward with that.
I am too. Ultimately, I went forward with a flavor profile that I know, that I understand, that I love, and glass number 2 I think is interesting. I'm fascinated by it, but I just like glass 1 better.
Fair. For me and my palate, this was an easy decision. I liked glass number 2, but I loved glass number 1. They had all those warming
classic whiskey flavors.
Yeah, the whiskey flavors, but it was a little bit like creamy and you said blueberry and the pie. I just liked everything about it, and there was nothing that I didn't like about this glass.
Yeah, this was a great experience, glass number 1. Glass number 2, I thought it was fantastic. That's glass number 24 that's been eliminated. Let's grab that envelope and find out what it was.
Last day of round 1, we eliminate number 24, which I'm kind of sad about because I thought we were going to split and you were going to move that one forward. This is from our friends Eric and Ruby.
Oh, we've eliminated 2 of theirs now.
I know, I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys.
118.8 proof, so it was high teens, low 20s. That's what I said, so I'm taking that.
Yeah, give yourself a little credit.
7 to 9 years. It's the Bernheim barrel proof.
That's why it was grassy. It's got that. It's that weeder. I always say that's a grassiness on that bottle. I really liked that bottle. I'm gonna have to revisit that bottle. That came out this year.
Do we still have that?
Yeah, that's gonna have to be part of our year-end list because
Yeah.
that was surprisingly good. I really enjoyed that. A lot of fun. So what won?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out in the next round, or in the next round, or the final round.
Well, there you go. Two fantastic whiskeys, a great match, a grudge match, if you will. And we chose the same thing. It seems like it's been a while since we did that. We'll be right back with matchup number 2, the last one in round 1, right after this.
Do you know who looks good in Bourbon Van apparel? You do. Go to thebourbonvan.com and gear up today.
Just looking over the Eric C. and Ruby Heart 921 bottles, we've eliminated 2 of them so far. One of them was Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. The other one was Bernheim Barrel Proof.
Oh.
I have to suspect that there's a Larceny Barrel Proof in here somewhere with their names on it.
Maybe.
All right. Glass number 1. Match. I can't believe this is the last match of round 1 already.
Oh, I thought we were going to get a cat cameo coming in from the fridge.
That smells nice. Fruity.
Strawberries. Sugary. Oaky.
Nice sweetness there. Nice balance, I think, on the nose.
It's a nice nose.
You like this
These
one?
are both nice noses. This almost smells syrupy, not maple syrupy, but a syrupy sweetness.
I'm getting that Band-Aid thing on the nose of that one.
There is a smidge of that.
Yeah.
You are correct. A little earthy, almost like a hayfield. But it's bright, and I feel like there's like corn. I feel like there's corn stalks coming out. Whatever. Let's just drink them.
Yeah. You want to start with the one on the right or the one on the left this time?
Whichever you prefer.
Let's go the one on the left. Better on the palate. There's a grassy herbaceousness there.
Drinks a little thin to me. A little low proof. Well, it could just be the second matchup instead of the first one, because that obviously was a higher proof point in those first 2.
I like this way better on the palate than I did on the nose. Way better.
Yeah, my tongue's a little bit getting some of the spices that dance. That doesn't mean I think this is a rye, but I haven't had that feeling in a while.
Yeah, I if I had to guess on the nose and the palate here, I'd be thinking rye.
Yeah, a little pop roxy.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Going back for more. I like this. I like this so much better on the palate than the nose.
Yeah, the nose is a little, skunky's not the right word. It's a little funky.
It's funky.
Yeah. There's some grain notes here. Mm-hmm. Honey sweetness, a little sugar. There's nice spice here.
If I had to guess, I'd say this might be a little youthful.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I would agree.
It's not necessarily a bad thing. It still has nice flavor, and maybe it's just a grain heavy whiskey. Mm-hmm. But that would be my first inclination to think that it's a little bit young. But flavor wise, I like what's there. The palate is quite nice. It's spicy. It's sweet, like you said, very well balanced. It's a little earthy, a little herbaceous. I think that there's a lot to like in glass number 2. I didn't expect to like it this much on the palate. Said that 15 times already. Let's cleanse our palates and go to glass 1.
Oh, wow, the nose change on here. You know what it reminds me of? This reminds me of the gummies that you can get that are like circles and they have the hole in them. They're gummy, but not like good, like gummy bears.
Like a ring?
Yeah, like a
jelly
ring, a jelly ring that has like the sugar on it.
And I'm going the other way. It smells like I just walked into an old barn. I'm drinking it.
Literally pictured eating one of those things, going like, you just eat them, but you're like, I'm not
sure I
it's
like
not
it.
great. I don't know why I'm eating this. Gosh, it tastes like that too to me. Big floral note for me on that beginning palate. Mid palate, it was like those rings I just described. The apricot, where they're like half orange, half white. I don't know what the white is. Maybe pineapple or something. But
interesting. Well, you thought that tasted like jelly rings, and I think it tasted like I licked a dusty board.
No. Really?
I feel like I just like walked into a barn with a really dusty floor and just stomped around for a while and then inhaled and took a deep breath.
Wow.
I think there's a dustiness on this. I don't get a ton of sweetness on this at all.
Wow. Different palates, am I right?
I guess you are, but I do smell what you're talking about.
I can still taste that. And I'm not saying like it's not good or bad. It's like, I mean, if you all know what the candy I'm talking about, it's not a sought after candy. Though somehow it always shows up.
Yeah, nobody's ever bought one of those, I don't think. Huh. Yeah, there's something in the back of my throat that's a little bit cloying, but at the same time, like the fruitness sorts, the fruit and the sweetness sort of come in waves, but I'm not going to say it's balanced by, because it doesn't strike me as balanced. It's sort of interacting strangely with a bitter, earthy dustiness. It's almost like eating candy and mushrooms at the same time.
Yeah. You know what? I actually, when I took a sip of that, I got that. I just walked into a barn and there was like the overwhelming hay smell. What you just said about the sweetness and the farminess, it's definitely apparent in this glass.
It's interesting. I'm glad that we took a little extra time to taste that one thoroughly, because it's a weird whiskey.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of strangeness to it. I'm not going to make quick work of these. I'm going to take my time with these. I'm ready to make a decision right now, but something tells me that I need to give these a much more fair shake.
Oh yeah, and I don't even remember what the other glass tastes like, to be honest. So I definitely have to do a little research.
It's all fruit on glass 2 now.
Man, they're both a little musty though.
A little floral, a little musty. They're interesting. They both have a floral presence on them. They both have a farmy presence on them.
Yep.
There's an earthiness, there's sweetness. Glass 2, I get a ton of sweetness. Glass 1 seems to be kind of going the other way. But I like both of those things.
I'm interested to see how you're going to go with this one.
Me too.
If this was available for purchase in front of me, I'm not sure I'd buy either one of these, but I like them.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I actually have a decision. One of these just presented a kind of a boatload of cola, like maybe even a little bit of a root beer on the palate, and that sealed the deal for me. Okay. I don't need to take any more sips. I'm good.
Last move forward of round 1.
1, 2, 3.
Whoa, we're on the same page today.
That cola sealed
surprised.
the deal. I was kind of going back and forth, but the more we went into glass 1, the more interesting the flavors were, the more complex it seemed. And there's layers there.
Yeah, this one was a winner for me just out of the gate. I liked the sweetness of it. And when you said cola note, I thought, oh, that's the note that I keep like, what am I missing?
Yeah.
And it was like almost like a cola candy.
Yeah, almost like a birch beer or something like that, like a cream soda, because it's not super duper sweet.
Yeah.
It carries a little vanilla with it, and it's actually on the finish now. That's the prevailing flavor that I'm getting. And it's actually way more satisfying than I was giving it credit for. So, yeah, glass 1 pulls it out here. I can't wait to find out whiskey number 22, who gifted it to us, and what was it?
Wow. First time we've had this. We have some samples over here.
Really?
We do. So this is a Kathy Huey. Thank you, Kathy. We love you.
All right, Kathy.
95 proof, 4 to 6 years. It is the 13th Colony Rye.
Wow.
First time we've had this.
We've never had anything from 13th Colony.
No.
We do have a kind of a bunch of samples that people have sent us.
Yeah.
Wow, a 13th Colony product got bounced.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, well, there you go. A lot of people crowning that brand as the whiskey maker of the year. I don't know.
Well, I want to taste it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta say, even knowing what it is, giving it a shot, I like it.
Definitely tastes like a rye now.
I think we both knew that these were, at least one of these was a rye. I'm pretty sure both of them are.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's good. Doesn't blow me away.
Yeah.
But there you go. That's why we play the game. Thank you so much, Kathy, for the sample, and to whoever gave us the other sample, and the other people who gave us samples earlier today. That's the end of round 1. From here on in, it's one matchup a day, thank goodness. And we hope that your brackets are fully intact. I'm sure 100% of you are 100%, so no concerns there. But thank you again for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah. Tea and cola.
Yeah, curious.
Now are you like, should have gone with the other one?
Absolutely not.
Okay.